Hi my friends, welcome to my channel. Anna, Alchemist of the Arts here. I wanted to bring to you a pick a card reading today, a general reading focused on the blessings of this solstice. So I have 3 piles available, and just to do some general housekeeping, as always this is a collective reading, so not all messages may be meant for you, only take what resonates. Take as long as you need to connect with the piles to make your decision. I've got just a couple of cards here. I'm going to use some other tarot. We'll go through them and just see the messages that come through. If you'd like to contact me, book a personal reading, to look at my artwork or my stores, all of my official links are in the description box below. Anything else, any account that messages you saying that they need a reading, it's not me. So please be mindful of scammers and impersonators out there. Okay. Do take as long as you need to tune in with these. There can be often times where you're drawn to more than one pile or drawn to more than one crystal, perhaps, depending on what intuitively pulls you. We have pile number 1 with rose quartz today. Pile number 2, which is peach moonstone. And pile number 3, which is unakite. So pause the video if needed, and the timestamps will be below to take you to each reading, and I will see you there. Hi there, pile 1. If you were drawn to this pile, then this is your reading. You were drawn to the rose quartz today, and this reading we're going to be asking the blessings coming in for you with this solstice. So as a reminder, this is a collective reading. Please only take the messages that feel right and resonate with you. Not all of them may. If you would like a personal reading, all of my information and official links are in the description box below, and I will never contact you directly to tell you I want to give you a reading or ask for money. So please be mindful of scammers. After that, let's get into it. Wisdom. Okay, so this is good. A blessing of wisdom. Now, intuitively, the first thing that's coming through here is wisdom is the personal embodiment, the amassing of knowledge. It's not just knowing something. It's that knowing in your being able to utilize it, put it into action. It's so much deeper than knowledge. Wisdom is the embodiment. It's being able to apply it to life, to be able to move forwards, walking steps in wisdom. It feels like this solstice is bringing you a really big kind of awareness within your life. This card reminds me a lot of the Hermit in traditional tarot. Obviously, it probably is the equivalent. This feels like a time, maybe over this winter, an initiating. It's going to be different for all of you. Okay, so there's 2 messages I'm getting, and it's interesting because this kind of echoes a personal message I got today. For some of you, this winter solstice marks the return of the light. So for some of you, this could mark the end of a difficult chapter, which you are now embracing as wisdom. And for others of you, it could mark a phase where you're really going to step into the wisdom of some of your experiences, or maybe through the winter months, working through some experiences which are going to add to the wisdom that you've already gained. But we are focusing on the blessings, and either way, this is going to be a good thing. This is an empowering form of wisdom. I'm using my absolutely beautiful and wonderful seasonal tarot deck. So let's see, blessings coming in please for pile number 1. The King of Pentacles, nice. The King of Swords, interesting. Definitely 2 very grounded, logically minded and clear thinking kings here. And the 10 of Cups. Wow, I really love this. I'm just going to clarify these. I want to clarify the King of Pentacles, please. clarify the King of Swords, please. And clarify the Ten of Cups, please. Pile 1, I love this. And the High Priestess on the bottom of the deck. And she is here to lovingly balance out all of this masculine energy. However, this masculine energy does not necessarily signify men. For some of you, it could do. For some of you, there's so many different messages here. For some of you, this could be a choice between two people in romantic affairs and having the wisdom to choose the option that is going to bring you the greatest happiness. Now, that doesn't have to be two different people. It could be two different pathways, but making a decision that ultimately brings you to your greatest happiness. Overall, it feels like you've been working towards something. You've been focusing your energy and your intention into the creation of something, into bringing something into being. Now, you could have been working on building something. The blessing coming in is like this season is bringing you this shift of the wheel, is bringing you this sense of well-being, of fulfillment. You're going to have time, or definitely make time and take time to sit back and reflect upon your blessings, reflect upon your achievements. You've been working very diligently through the course of the year with this Three of Pentacles, and it has built you a solid foundation. You are going to have your success. You've got the Six of Wands clarifying the Ten of Cups. This is incredible. This is definitely obtaining your wish fulfillment. Now, you guys, I do lots of readings and I don't always see cards or get messages like this, and it's really, really lovely. It's wonderful when you get something so pure and so clear. There have been times where it has not been like this. But this chapter, this mark of time, this solstice, the return of the light, what it's bringing back to you is some kind of awareness. For some of you, this could be the awareness that you already have the thing that you want. This re-clarification and the fully immersing yourself in knowing that two messages. For those of you who are, already in committed relationships, perhaps you have children, there's going to be this beautiful time of really connecting with each other, reconnecting with each other, reconnecting with the shared experience that you are having and sharing in that joy and that bliss. And for others of you, perhaps if you're into manifestation, this is really realizing that actually you've come a long way, and just maybe you can have the things that you want. Maybe you will just have those things that you want. Wow. Okay, I'm going to use my small deck because I really want to bring out some other messages, and I hadn't planned on bringing these out, but I just want to see if it's going to come through. This is like my OG tarot deck, and it's no nonsense. Blessings for pile 1, please. Just give me some more. Yeah, there's a message here that I was getting with that Three of Pentacles, that for some of you, you could have invested a lot of time and energy into something that didn't work out. With this Lovers in the reverse here, you could have really tried to build something with somebody, and perhaps that didn't come to pass. Perhaps that didn't work in some way. And for those of you, this is going to help you. This time helps you to realize that with this Nine of Cups on its side and the Six of Pentacles, you weren't completely at fault here and completely to blame here. Whilst you might have put all of the blame upon yourself, the blessing of wisdom coming in is this recognition that perhaps it wasn't all you. And you've got the Nine of Cups come out twice. I really feel like this is you coming back to a place of self-awareness, of self-appreciation. This one's been crossed by the Ace of Swords and the Queen of Wands. This is having that sudden realization, a brand new emotional, mental awareness, maybe thinking something through. It's like an epiphany kind of an energy with that Ace of Swords, of recognizing your strengths, your passion, your beauty, your vivacity. I love that word, and I haven't used it in forever, but that's the word that came through. You know, there is so much that you bring to the table. And this is you realizing that you're a prize, that you are worth so much. And it is going to be worth so much to you when you either realize and count your blessings. I mean, we should do that anyway, but or when you realize that what you've closed the door on, or what closed the door on you, it feels more like. It feels more like somebody closed the door on you and you've had to pick up the pieces. You are going to be successful. You're going to move forwards. You're going to come to that place that you really want to be in and find yourself in. The Queen of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Happiness, fulfillment, and empathy as well. And these queens and the High Priestess, they're balancing out a lot of this masculine energy. It's nothing to do with gender. And the Queen of Cups kind of softens this King of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. It softens it and brings it back to the heart space and keeps it connected and grounded in empathy, in mutual respect, in emotional awareness, openness. It feels like a time of reconnection and rebalancing. The blessing coming in is definitely a rebalancing of the scales, but it feels like this is internal because it helps you massively to shift forwards or to just really reconnect with what you already have. And I guess that's why we chose rose quartz for this one today. I'm going to get a couple of tarot cards, oracle cards, and let's see what other messages come through before we wrap this up for you. Don't let your past hold you back. Yeah, this is that Lovers in the reverse and this Nine of Cups on the side. Something wasn't fair or well balanced in the past. It was like you gave a lot to a situation with the Three of Pentacles to try and build. And for some of you, I'm going to take this card, but I'm just going to give this message first. For some of you, your heart space could have closed down and you went into a logical mind way of thinking for a long time because you were hurt. You know, the King of Swords is incredibly logical, clear thinking, pragmatic, will get the job done. However, you wouldn't associate him with having an open heart, expressing freely his emotions necessarily. And that can be a defensive strategy that we end up employing to protect ourselves because of past hurt. So it feels like if you've been a little bit emotionally shut down or holding yourself back, perhaps focusing on work, focusing on what needs to be done, the practical matters of life, rather than, you know, your own fulfillment, chasing your own fulfillment is what I want to say. You know, finding another lover, finding the next thing. It feels like this wisdom is the point at which you realize that you really can have it all. And just because things didn't work out in the past, it doesn't mean it's not going to work out again. And if you're a masculine or if you identify as male or somebody that is looking for a woman, it feels like, regardless of gender, sorry if I've just completely, you know, been socially inappropriate with what I've just said, but it feels like if you are somebody seeking a woman is going to come into your life. It's almost, it just feels like this really strong feminine energy on the outside coming in and all of this masculine energy here. So regardless of gender, whichever way you identify, That's the energy approaching. This feels like the energy that you've been in, and this could very much be an internal process as well. Your hard work is paying off. And I feel like this is hard work. Your hard work is paying off both in the practical sense of the work that you've invested into the life that you've built, but also the healing work that you have been doing. Because it might have been like a secondary thing. It might have just been a process of time, but for some of you, it could have been a really conscious process to try and heal and to overcome this past relationship, or to move beyond it, or just to elevate yourself within your circumstances so that you can move on. But it's your hard work is paying off, and I want you to know that. So we're just going to get one goddess card for you. Okay, yeah, two. I'm going to take them both upright today. Flow and compassion, Kuan Yin and Rhea. It takes compassion to leave, and wisdom to leave the past behind you, to not allow yourself to remain shut down forever, and to be open to new beginnings, to fulfillment. The sense of flow feels like finally realizing that whatever has been no longer has to be a part of your present, and does not have to be influencing or carried into your future. This compassion is as much about self-compassion, to release yourself from this situation or the way that it's been binding you, holding you in a particular pattern of behavior that you might have done yourself as a protection mechanism, or through limiting beliefs and thinking that you couldn't have or couldn't do in some kind of a way. And again, this doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could certainly be connected to a person or a situation that just damaged your confidence, something that you invested a lot into that didn't necessarily work out the way you intended, and perhaps you felt a bit cheated or caught short, you know. But it definitely feels like this opportunity for you to move on. This blessing is you moving on. Sacral portal, yeah. Creativity, intimacy, inhibition. Reconnecting with your sacral chakra, the sacred passion of life, your creativity, your sexual energy. They're one and the same. Very much this Queen of Wands energy right here. You know, it's reconnecting and reinvigorating yourself with that beautiful passion for life, and allowing it to rise up within you. And that requires a level of openness, and that is, you know, it does require that inner feminine energy to come into balance. But it feels like a really beautiful thing, a real beautiful opening and awareness that's happening for you at this solstice. And with that, I'm going to leave this with you and just thank you for being here. I really hope you enjoyed the reading, and I will see you in another one. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, but just sending you all my love and wishing you a very, very happy solstice. Hi there, Group 2. If you were drawn to this path and this is your reading, you were drawn to the Peach Moonstone today. Now, as a reminder, this is a collective reading. If you would like a personal one, please feel free to look at my information in the description box below. I will never message you and tell you I want to give you a reading or ask for money, so please be mindful of scammers. Let's get into it. I've got a couple of tarot cards here, and I will do some other tarot cards as well. Okay. So we've got Desire in the reverse, and this Six of Fire in the reverse. Let me just check, because it's Roman numerals. Yes, it's the Six of Fire in the reverse. Okay. So the blessing coming in with the solstice, it feels like where there has been any kind of restriction or conflict, inner conflict over choosing a path, especially something you were desiring, or something desire based, where there was a sense of conflict, not being able to meet, not being able to marry up. It feels like that's going to be released. It feels like there is going to be, what I'm getting is clarity. Like clarity is going to come in. Clarity is going to come in and assist you in either making a decision, but definitely in picking a pathway. It's interesting though, because we've got this desire in the reverse. So let's get some tarot, and that's flown on the floor. So excuse me a second. I will take it. For pile 2, please. That's enough to be getting on with. Ooh. Let's try and move this over a little bit. So you have the Six of Cups and the Six of Pentacles. I'm really intrigued by this. I'm going to clarify. Sorry, I want to clarify this Six of Cups and this Seven of Swords before I move on. Wow. This is really, really interesting energy. It definitely feels like two pathways here. A decision that needs to be made, something that could have been weighing on your heart for some time. But the blessing is, I feel like you're going to have that sudden clarity to know which way your heart wants to go. You could have been closing off your desire for, your heart's desire. That calling could be a soul calling to do with work, something vocational. It could be romantic. It could be relocation. It could be travel. It could be anything. It could be different for all of us. There is definitely strategy that is going to bring you towards a new beginning. This Seven of Swords is strategy. It's the removing of the swords from the battlefield in order to prevent conflict. It's clever, a bit cunning. Some might say conniving. But it feels like something is being returned to you. But it could mean letting something go. Because on the bottom of the deck we have the Six of Swords. So you have 3 sixes. Now, and you have the Six of Wands here. Wow. Okay, so I know this is a different deck, but that's all sixes out on the table. So definitely I would look up, sixes in numerology, or 6, 6, 666 and 6666 as angel numbers. You will get a very different meaning. Please don't just look at the generic number of the beast thing, because that's I don't go with that. But these sixes are really relevant. These are all turning points within the tarot. These always, to me, signify turning points upon our journey. Your blessing is the return of something, but it feels like the return of something, or coming back to some kind of awareness. It could be a feeling within yourself. It could be reconnecting with somebody, with an experience that is going to lead you on this train of thinking. It might not even be a train of thought. I'm guessing this is more emotional. It could be a return trip home. I'm really drawn to the smoke coming off this chimney, which is giving me a really sensory element. So it could be reconnecting with something that reminds you of home, that fills you with a certain emotion that nothing else does. And it leads you in a certain way, that then leads you to instantly strategize about how you can have this new beginning. But this new beginning comes from a place of and leads to a place of feeling really confident, being confident, knowing your worth, knowing your value. And for some of you, it really does. It means moving away from something. And yeah, behind it, we've got the Three of Wands. So you've got the the Six of Swords with the Three of Wands behind it on the bottom of the deck. To clarify these two, we've got the Ten of Pentacles with the Magician. A chance meeting with somebody, a blessing over this solstice, a chance meeting with somebody, a chance encounter, somebody from your past, a past place, returning to a past place. I'm just trying to throw out different scenarios here. But something from the past is going to trigger you to want to move away from something else. Now, it could be a person, it could be a job, it could be a living arrangement. But this is leading you onto something much better, something much more balanced. It's like a new opportunity. It could be the return of an opportunity, something that's having like a second go. But this feels far more destined for you. Something that recognizes your unique gifts and skills with this Magician card here, and realizes that you bring something to the table that is a form of completion with this Ten of Pentacles. You know, whatever it is that you're walking away from, or you choose to walk away from, to walk towards something new, it feels like a really positive and empowering experience from you. Because quite possibly what it was in the past that you were walking away from, or this past thing that you are going to choose to walk away from, or given the opportunity to walk away from, might not have recognized your skills, your value, or what you bring to the table. And it's almost like somebody reminds you just how powerful you are, just how skilled you are, just how unique or talented or beautiful or special you are. And that triggers this whole cascade of coming back to yourself, where you choose to rebalance these scales and have a new beginning that's just for you. And that doesn't mean anyone else can't be a part of it, but it means it's this person. It's like an angel from the past that just kind of drops in. And for some of you, it's not somebody from the past. It's like a chance encounter or meeting with somebody who just reminds you of who you are. The Lovers could certainly be romantic, but again, the Lovers can represent choice. It can represent a choice between one or other, and to move in a particular direction. I love that it's come out in the upright. The Ten of Wands has come out in the reverse. You have a choice to move towards what it is that you love, and to let go of this burden, to let go of the weight of what has been holding you back. And what I'm guessing is, yeah, it might require a bit of strategy. Got Three of Wands again. Yeah, it may require a bit of strategizing. You might need to make a plan realistically, because this energy is you wanting to fulfill yourself, to fulfill your desires, fulfill your life, and move towards them. And yes, that means walking away from something else, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen overnight necessarily. The blessing is the realization that there is something better out there for you, something more, something greater, something more destined. And I feel like with this Three of Wands being here twice, it's almost that sense of longing and looking out at the horizon. And you could well have been doing that for some time, but now it's sort of saying to you, like, okay, there is this meeting, this person from the past, a return of some kind of past emotion that's going to bring this more to your immediate sort of action stations, you know, like, no, I need to do this now. It's New Year, I'm not going to wait another day. And the Two of Wands, yeah. And the Hermit. Wowzers. Definitely contemplating which path you are going to take. And with the Lovers coming out with the Desire in the reverse. This is just a tarot reading. I cannot offer anybody any kind of advice to replace anything from any professional. But this always says, Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. What does your heart want? Where does your heart want to take you? Where's your heart calling you, more importantly? Work through your fears. Absolutely. It's the new moon in Scorpio card. We had a lot of eclipses. And we had an eclipse in Scorpio over the last couple of months. So there could definitely have been times over the last few months where you've sort of felt like you were at breaking point, or had these big realizations that things were just not what you wanted, and seeing how you want to move forwards or where you want to move forwards. And I think this is suddenly seeing how this could be a positive thing and choosing to make positive steps. You're very close to achieving your goal. So definitely this really could have been on your heart or your mind for some time. But this is like that final, it's a really sensory thing. It does feel like a memory or an emotion. Dreamscape, dreamwork, subconscious, the imagination. It could be a dream for some of you. This could be nostalgia. That's the word. It's nostalgia. Seeing that chimney smoke, it's nostalgia. So it doesn't even have to be a physical encounter. It could be an encounter in the dream space, in other dimensions, through your meditations, or through your imagination. Maybe somebody just suddenly drops into your mind, or a thought, something, you know, often they can be higher self nudges. They can be nudges from our guides. And we just think, wow, that was a really random thought. And actually the whole thing is orchestrated, or, you know, it's sent almost a bit like Inception to get us to think, oh, what will happen if I do that or go there? And thus we move. And I'm just going to get one more card for you. The blessing is in reconnecting with a part of yourself that you thought was long lost. And I'm going to take these upright today. I know you can read them both ways, but I'm going to take them upright. Hecate, the in-between, and Brigid, creative spark. Yeah. This is you really reconnecting with that sense of self, with who you really are. Hecate, she is the keeper of keys, the opener of doorways. So I love this for this reading. I feel like you're going to be seeing a pathway that perhaps you haven't seen before, strategizing a pathway. And like I said, with this dreamscape, it could just drop into your mind as an idea, as a thought, as some kind of awareness. But something somewhere flags this up to you, and it's just like, whoa, that's what I want to do. That's where I want to go. And this blessing is actually these nudges coming in, guiding you from your guides, from your higher self, your spiritual team, your gods, guardians, ancestors, whichever way you like to call them, whoever you associate with or recognize. This reinvigorates a part of your being that may have been dormant for a long time. And it could come through a person. It could come through nostalgic feeling of a return home, or a reconnection with somebody, or reconnection with emotion from somebody new. But it is reigniting your passion for life and who you are, so that you can make these decisions to set about the next part of your journey. Pile 2, I really hope this reading assisted you. I hope it resonated. If you enjoyed this reading, please feel free to like, share and subscribe. But it has been my pleasure to read for you. Wishing you the happiest solstice, and just sending you all my love. Take care. Hi, pile number 3. If you were drawn to this pile, then this is your reading. You were called to the Untitled today. And as a reminder, this is a collective reading. Personal readings are available, and all my information is in the description box below if you'd like to check it out. And as a reminder, I will never send you a message telling you I want to give you a reading or asking for money, so please be mindful of scammers and imposters. Let's get into it. Blessings coming in with the solstice. we've got the counselor in the reverse. Okay, the instant I turn that around, I got this rush of excitement. Now, this is a bit contrary, and I'm an intuitive tarot reader, so I read the energies I feel connected to the card that I'm looking at. And that can be different with the same cards every single reading. The rush of excitement that I got from this card being in the reverse was the idea of suddenly leaving your overthinking behind and doing something. It feels like something that maybe is a little bit out of character. Maybe you would overthink things normally. Maybe there is a tendency to overthink. And this is like, fuck it, I'm going. Throw caution to the wind. I'm doing this. And it doesn't feel like something reckless. It doesn't feel like something dangerous. It feels like excitement. It feels like pure excitement. And with that, the adrenaline. You know, the sensation I'm getting right now, I get a little bit of vertigo sometimes, and it always gives me this sensation in my hands, and it's kind of like that. So for some of you, maybe there's something that you really want to do. Maybe it's a big goal for the next year. Maybe it's just a big life goal. Maybe it's reaching out to somebody, applying for something. But what it feels like is like a big step for you. And you suddenly have this impulse to just do it, to just commit to it, to reach out to that person, to sign yourself up for that thing, to send the application. And you just do it, and you don't think about it the way you would overthink things normally. And afterwards you might be like, oh my God, what have I done? But in that moment, it is so pure. And it is pure, just, it feels so completely aligned, but it feels like a little bit out of character. And I almost feel a bit like your higher self, guides, team, ancestors, gods, guardians, angels, whoever you associate and identify with. They kind of like give you a little kind of energetic whoop. And then you do it, and then you're like, oh, what have I done? But actually, it's going to be amazing, and you're going to be so glad that you did it. Let's get your tarot. And I've got a huge smile on my face. Yeah, of course the Two of Swords came out. There's the overthinking for you. Yes, I'm not going to take those. Be more clear, please. For part 3, please, come on. Okay, there we go. Okay. It's interesting because the Six of Cups came out clarified by the Ten of Pentacles for pile 2. But it's very different energy. Very different energy. There are similarities between the modus of this blessing, of how this blessing comes into being. But whereas in pile 2, if you feel drawn to watch it, feel free to watch it. It almost feels like the two different parties within a situation. However, it's not, like I said, it's just the modus of how this happens. And this feels like you being more in the driving seat, something that you wouldn't normally do. Perhaps there is a level of being more passive, more cautious in action. I don't say passive, and I certainly don't say that in a derogatory way. But a sense of maybe you put off taking action because of an overthinking, because of worrying how something may be received. This could be romantic, it could be professional, it could be just reaching out to somebody for an opportunity of some kind. But what I'm really getting here is you have this kind of moment where this blindfold falls off, and in that moment of pure clarity, you just do something. Maybe it's to reconnect with somebody. Maybe it's to send a message. Maybe it's to reach out to somebody. Let me just try and adjust this lighting. Sorry, it looks a bit harsh all of a sudden. Sorry for wobbling the camera. I don't think that's helped very much, sorry. It's just like you have this sudden moment of pow, awareness. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to text this person. I'm going to contact that company. I'm going to send that application in. I'm going to enter that competition. And it's going to do you very well. It's going to be and build. It's going to be the beginning of something really good. It's the beginning of a foundation. But not only that, the blessing is in you realizing that you have more power than you realize you had in taking the driving seat in your life. In terms of reaching out with the cup instead of being the person waiting to receive it. There's two people on the Six of Cups. Well, there's a third and a snowman, but the two main characters on this Six of Cups. There is a person giving the cup and a person expecting it, waiting for it with an open hand. And I think normally, if you were the person waiting to receive something, in this moment, for some reason, you choose to be the person that goes, no, I'm going to give the cup. And it could mean offering something to somebody else. But I get more this sense of putting yourself out there in some way. Let's get some more on this, please. The Six of Cups, sorry, the Six of Pentacles has come out for every single reading. Now, yeah, of course it did. The Knight of Cups and the Sun. With the Six of Cups, the Sun and the Knight of Cups, you could just, okay, I'll be honest, you know, we've got cups here, and I'm just getting, maybe you have a couple of drinks. Maybe you feel a bit more relaxed. Maybe your inhibitions are down a little bit. And you just kind of go, no, do you know what? I'm going to do this thing. Right now, this thing makes me feel happy. And I would strongly say, follow your joy on this one. If it makes you feel happy, if it's meant with the best intentions, I'm not saying reaching out to somebody and telling them that you think they're a, you know what, you know, I don't think that's a kind of impulsive, you know, contact that we're discussing here. It's more, like I said, suddenly getting that inspiration to contact that person and say, hey, I've been thinking about you. How are you? Would you like to meet up? Or, you know, hi, how are things? Or putting that application in, or it comes from a good place. It comes from your joy. It comes from your bliss. It comes when you're enjoying yourself. And I feel like the blessing coming in is you take some time, you relax, you let your hair down a little bit. Obviously, it doesn't have to be alcohol related, but I just got that for some of you, probably just because of the time of year. But definitely a sense of letting the inhibitions down just a little bit and feeling that sense of, this is great. This is awesome. Like I can do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to extend myself. And I'm going to put myself out there. And it feels positive. It feels good. And we've got the Eight of Cups, of course, on the bottom of the deck. I feel like this is an energy of moving along. I'm really strongly called to the fact that there's one star emphasized on this. Oh, you know, maybe that's the North Star, maybe it's Polaris, maybe this is like the same star that the Hermit has in his lantern and the star on the star card. It's choosing to walk away and to move towards this star, to move towards what it is that feels right for you. Again, moving towards your joy. There is a little bit of crossover here, so maybe there is an element of walking away from something to walk towards something else. But it doesn't feel dramatic. It doesn't feel like it hurts anybody. You just kind of feel relaxed. And it could be the first time you've felt relaxed in ages. Let's get some more for you. Okay, they just want me to say as well, and for some of you, this could be receiving timely notification, maybe on Friday. If you're watching this at the time of airing, you might get good news about a job application if you've put one out there. I just see somebody getting like a phone call on the same Christmas Eve, but it's like the day before Christmas Eve. Just getting good news. It definitely feels like good news coming in. Got the Ace of Pentacles, the Page of Swords. Blessings coming in, please, for pole 3. The Eight of Cups again, and the 3 of Cups. And then we've got the 9 of Swords in the reverse, which is really interesting because this deck is normally only in the upright, and that is an anomaly, which always happens for a reason. You've been watching and waiting for a while before you've made your move. There was something that you had to leave behind, something, perhaps a chapter you need to close. This is why I was drawn to that star, because in the traditional tarot, in the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot, traditionally it's the moon. You know, and the moon speaks of the subconscious, of what is unseen, of fears, of doubts, insecurities, things hidden within the emotional realm, the psyche. So where is this? There's 2 different kinds of energies here. And it feels like walking away from the doubt, fear, and insecurity of the past. And walking towards these dreams, these goals, this hope, this vision of the future. And the phrase that's coming through is nothing ventured, nothing gained. You know, with this 9 of Swords coming out in the reverse, like I said, this is an anomaly because the rest of this deck will be in the upright. This is letting go of that fear and that anxiety that has been holding you back. It's almost like, for some of you, you could just hit a point, and with the 3 of Cups, you definitely could just make some sort of impulsive decision if you've been out drinking, or you might just be in a really blissful, high energy state. And when it comes to reconnecting with people or putting yourself out there, that is a great energy to do things in. And holding that energy and knowing that even if this one opportunity, this one person, it doesn't come to pass, it's okay. Because there will be something else. There will be something more aligned. There will be something different, something new. And if, like I said, it feels beautiful. It comes from your joy. So be in your joy. The blessing is you letting your hair down for a little bit. Lowering, getting out of your head a little bit. And having some fun. And it feels like following your fun, following your joy, following your happiness. That's interesting because that came out for part 1. And we've got don't let your past hold you back. Things won't necessarily be the same. Things won't necessarily be the same as they were before. We've got nothing will come of this situation, which I want to clarify because I can't clarify with that, and I don't want to clarify with more tarot. Let's just tune in for a second. This is one of those cards within this deck where it's just, you know, it's a void of course moon, and we've just got the very clear moon, and I've just given you that speech about the moon, and they're in the same position here. Like I said, it feels like there might be something you need to walk away from, and something that you're walking towards. This moon and these 2 cards being in the same position, it feels like you are choosing to walk away from something. But it could be a way of life, a way of being, holding yourself back, keeping yourself small, playing it safe. It feels like that because you realise nothing is going to come of that situation if you just keep playing it the way you have been. Nothing's going to change unless you're willing to change. And it feels like you have this moment, this really beautiful moment where you're just like, I'm ready. Let's do this. Let's get some goddess messages for you. Opponent, wise leadership, and Yuki honor stillness. They're quite interesting as well. I feel like this wise leadership refers to you being that power for yourself, finding that wise guidance within, finding that strength to guide yourself within. And it does, with this stillness card, it just feels like the sense of peace. It doesn't feel frenetic. It doesn't feel anxious. It doesn't feel panicked or rushed. It just feels like, I'm going to do that. And within that moment, the decision is made. And before you know it, it is done. It is done in that moment. And that's it. It doesn't come from panic or fear. It comes from this place of knowing that actually, this is what I want to do right now. And regardless of what happens, the outcome, I know I'm okay. I know I will be okay. And I know that this was a necessary moment in my life. It does not define me. And I will be okay. Let's finish with one of these for you. Guy, I'm going to get one more, sorry. I was going to put them back and it's like, nope. Ugh. Okay, just flipped all of those. Gaian awakening, preparing, relocation, ascension, harmonic resolution, negativity, anger, transmutation. This is that walking away energy. This is you finding that peaceful way to come back to self, that wise guidance, that leader within comes to you in a moment where you're not necessarily expecting it. And it's just like this moment of peace, of happiness, of joy. Things are good. You feel settled internally. And you do something. You make a decision and you move forwards with it. And it is going to be favourable. You've got the Ten of Pentacles here. But regardless of the situation and how the situation plays out, it's like you're proving to yourself that you can be wise, that you can make big leaps, that you can recover from falls, as we all do, because nothing ventured is nothing gained. And I'm going to leave this here for you. Pile number 3, I really wish you a wonderful solstice. I hope you have an amazing time. Thank you for being here. If you enjoyed this reading, please feel free to like, share, subscribe. But just sending you all my love, and I will see you again really, really soon. Take care. Bye-bye.